Hey guys, welcome back to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. My name is Dylan, and I've got a really special episode for you guys and a channel announcement. I'm going to be doing a rankings videos on the tops sets from 1952 all the way to 1980. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've done it in the past, but this is my favorite thing to talk about. And I was on a friend's channel who I will introduce you guys shortly to. And the reason I even do YouTube, the only reason I even started this was because of the episodes that this gentleman did regarding the sets and which ones were their favorites and all of that. So without further ado, we're going from the bottom all the way to the top, and I'm not going to be having guests on for maybe only a couple. It's going to be mainly me showing off my collection through this whole series. It's going to take me a whole year to do, but I wanted to have a special guest on because of what this represents. And I've almost been on YouTube for 2 years. So this gentleman coming up was my inspiration for being on YouTube. And it inspired me listening to him and his friends talk about the designs. And it's none other than Mike Moynihan. Let's bring him out. Let's see if I know how to do that. Why are you? Let's see. Remove solo layout. Oh, there he is. But now he's solo.
There I am.
Exit solo. There we go. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Dylan. How are you?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on here.
I love watching the tech struggle. It's real.
It is, dude. It's so real. I'm a baseball card collector, right? I don't know how to do. I don't even edit a video. So
you know what I should have done? I should have started. Hold on. Let me take me off and bring me back on again real quick.
Yeah, like it's that easy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, here. Oh, now I know how to do it.
Okay.
And from the shallow end of the gene pool, it's none other than Mike.
Hey guys, Mike here. I'm just showing you my cards from really far away. But I'm going to talk to the camera and I'll come up every once in a while. And no,
I love it. Well,
I'm just having fun. I'm sorry.
I love it. So we got some special things tonight too. Besides doing our least favorite set, because we're going to start from the bottom, number 29. We have a challenge. And Mike, why don't you talk about what you just did on your channel recently with Chris?
Well, so we started a new series called Showcase Showdown, where Chris and I'm actually going to be doing it with some other guys too, to see, kind of who has the best run of different players. It's all totally in fun, but it's kind of neat to compare and contrast collections. And, Chris and I were talking like, hey, if we combined our collections with other people and we were naming guys, like we'd have a really awesome, like we'd have the best collection in the world, if we just took guys from YouTube and kind of mished and mashed, if I have a 7 and you have a 5, we'll use mine. But if you have an 8 and I have a 3, we'll use yours together. And so we're like, hey, what if we made it like a competitive thing? And let's just see, just because we don't know, let's just go through it and see who has better player runs. I've got an idea. We're going to do some like tops runs of just Hall of Famers for certain years and see who has kind of the better runs. And again, nothing but, epic bragging rights involved, but just for fun. So I had an idea that we should do one, Dylan.
Yes. And what is it going to be of? What am I going to kick your butt in?
Well, don't talk too quick. I did a video a few weeks ago where I showed the 5 Upper Deck pack inserted autographs from the early 90s. And you commented that you had them all too. And I never knew anyone else even liked. I mean, there's people that like them, but I didn't know there was anyone else that had the whole run, and you do. So I thought it'd be great if we did a little mini showcase showdown before we get into the worst set of whatever, our least favorite set or whatever. How do you like that?
it's going to be epic. And I'm the same way. When I saw you post that, I was like, dude, there's no way. And I had just gotten the Hank Aaron, which you'll see. So that was my official finishing. And you just posted that video. And I don't know anyone who has this set either. And I don't know why, like as a kid, this was like the grail cards. Opening packs of Upper Deck to find these I would have lost my mind. And so now knowing that we can afford these cards and collect them. So let's start.
Chase the Reggie, remember?
Yes, exactly. Well, I didn't know the Reggie existed. I was the Nolan Ryan. Because the Reggie, I looked at the packs, like I never really opened up 1990 packs. I think because I didn't have money yet at that point. 91 is when I started buying the Upper Deck. So I didn't even know the Reggie existed. The Nolan I knew, and the Nolan was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that. So what we're gonna do is you get 5 points to have the card, which we're gonna have the card, but these are gonna have, some of them are gonna have 2 grades. So the number grade of the card itself is worth whatever the other guy has. So if I have a 5 and you have a 6, you get 1 point, and then the autograph is another section. So if you have an auto grade, you automatically get 5 points. And if you don't, you let's see, how would we do that? So if we have, do we get 5 points no matter what? And no, what do you think about that? How does that work?
I think we don't even, well, you have to have some differentiator, right? So yeah. If the auto's graded, you just get 5 points. Let's just say we don't even need to do the 5 points for the card itself because we both have those. So we'll just do difference in grade and 5 points if the auto is graded.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, what happened? Okay. First one, Reggie. Same time. Mine is authentic with an auto 10.
I've got a 6 with an auto 10.
So that's why
auto 9. I got auto 9.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get smoked out of the gates for that one.
No, I only get 5 points because.
Well, yeah. So 5 points for Mike.
I get 6 points because we both have the auto, so that cuts it. That makes that pointless.
You got a 6. You have a 6 grade.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. Okay, Mike.
It's 6-0.
Okay, next one, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron.
I have an 8 grade and a 10 auto. What do you have?
I have a 6 grade, 9 auto.
Okay, so 6. So I get 2 points, basically.
2 points, yeah.
All right. Nolan Ryan.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I have a 7 and a 10 auto.
I have a 6 and a 10 auto. Or 9 auto. Sorry.
Making a comeback. See, that's why I needed the autos to have some point scale.
I got you.
Higher. Okay, so I got 1 point again.
Yep.
So, okay, Ted Williams.
I just have an authentic.
I have, oh, there we go, making a comeback. I have a 6 and 10.
Nice.
So there we go. I got 6.
You get 11 points on that.
11.
Yeah, because my auto's not graded.
Oh wow. Okay. Boom. Looks like I'm gonna sign the deal here. Now this one I have just the cards graded. Johnny Bench.
Same here. Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan. Mine's just authentic.
All right. Dude, it looks like I won this, man. I think I won.
I think you did.
Woo! All right. Well, dude, let's line them up. Fan them out. I want to see them all together like that. Give me a fan. Are these not the coolest cards?
Yes, they are.
I just don't understand how everybody doesn't want these cards.
Well, they're not as cheap. They've always been somewhat expensive, but not crazy expensive. And I don't think I paid less than $300 or $400 for any of them, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think I got lucky when I was buying these. I overpaid on the Reggie. I paid $500. All the rest I paid $400 and something, except for the Johnny Bench. I paid like $300. What one is your favorite?
Ooh, probably. Oh, that's unfair to try to pick that.
It's so hard.
The Ted
Top
Williams
two.
was pretty
Let's go
epic.
top two.
I'd say Nolan and Teddy ball game.
Same exact two I had in my hand.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, something about those two, right? To have a Ted Williams autograph, like he's got a really good auto.
And on a legit pack issued card, you know.
Yeah.
That's and I wouldn't, if I would tell anybody, if you're going to buy these, I would only buy them slabbed and authenticated.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the cool thing is, might as well mention it with the hologram on the back, because it's like a diamond. You can tell if they're legit or not.
Right.
But still, I mean, the price you're going to pay, might as well just have them graded already.
Well, there's a lot of, I mean, you could take that checklist card and send it to Nolan Ryan and he could sign it. They all have to be numbered to 2,500. That's important. Although somebody could just number their card and make it look legit. I would just say, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't just buy anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of those autos on there that are just autographed that aren't the legit things, but the hologram is official because it's a different hologram for the other ones.
Right.
So makes it safe. All right. Well, that was sick. Okay.
Congrats on your victory.
Thank you. It feels pretty good. I beat the guy who's like a legend, and the new guy comes to town and just smokes him. Boom.
Well, just rub it in.
Like this. Chris is gonna like this one.
I love that there's someone out there that collects like you. I would tell everybody out there, you may think you collect in a vacuum and that nobody collects like you. And you know, there's kind of some fun to being unique. But there's so much more. Like when you saw that I had those autos, you're like, dude, that is so awesome. Somebody else loves these too, you know? And when I heard you had them, I was like, that is so awesome. Somebody else loves these too. So it's somebody collects like you, you know, just keep on the hunt if you can't find anybody.
And here's what's funny, Mike, is like 30 minutes ago or 40 minutes ago, I was watching your video that you just posted today, and you're showing a Cal Ripken autograph on the Diamond Kings. And I literally pushed the button to try and win the Cal Ripken auto on the Elite, because that's a huge grail for me. I didn't win it. I didn't bid high enough. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's meant to be. I'm going to win. I'm seeing one on the screen. Boom. And I was like, no. Well, I live to see another day, I guess.
I've lost way more cards than I've won over the years.
Which is good, because it means we're not like just paying for, you know, just doing some crazy bid, right?
Yep.
But there are cards that I go after that I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to bid like a good 20% over comps, or forget comps altogether, like blow it out of the water enough where if I do win it at this price, it's okay. I overpaid. I have to have that copy, right? There's moments for sure.
I have those as well.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Now, I want to give a clarification here on our least favorite set, and how I'm going to be doing this in the future. These are based off of the base card designs, not the rookies, not what you guys did on your channel with Don and George and everybody, not all of the other cards included in the set. It's simply, I wanted to take all that out of our brain as much as we possibly can, nostalgia and all that, and just simply base it off the base card design. And so we both chose our least favorite. And Mike, why don't you go ahead and show us yours, talk about it, and then we're going to show our favorite cards from that set, because it's not like they're ugly. None of them are ugly. They're all awesome.
So you asked me to do this, and it was pretty easy for me in terms of just raw design, like you're talking about. My least favorite is 1974 Topps.
It's an awesome design.
It feels very like Topps just mailed it in. Like, let's put a couple of little flag looking things and a white border, and that's it. So to me, nothing about this design is wow, you know. It's so
Yeah.
boring to me.
Well, share some more. I know you got a little pile there.
I brought all of my 74 tops, which is
Well,
a bunch.
we'll
Here's
show a bunch of them. Love that, Ryan. God, that's a nice one.
Who do you want to see?
Let's see. Dude, I just sold that card. I had it. I just sold it on eBay today or yesterday. Shipped it out this morning. That's random. Rod Carew. You got Dave Parker in there for Mangini. Is that entire box 74? Looks like you got. Wow, that whole row. Hey, Mike, you're silent. Did I do that?
My bad. That was
okay,
me.
There we go. Back on.
So there is some cool last cards of Hall of Famers, like Luis Aparicio's last card is in 74 tops, but we're not allowed to talk about the actual players.
You can talk about anything you want.
Let's see. I mean, they're again the design. Yeah, Pittsburgh Pirates, black and gold. Yeah, congrats, you got a color match. Good job. You know what I mean? There is some cool side cards like the Fisk.
Do you know what do you know who the MVPs were in that set? In that year?
Jeff Burrows for the Rangers.
Nice.
And Johnny Bench, I believe.
Nice.
Is that correct?
That is correct. Right here.
Oh, there you go.
That was a test. You passed. Good job.
Okay. Thanks. I'll keep my job as baseball collector.
Yes, you can.
Reggie.
No,
you don't have to make it. It can be like this. It's fine. There's the Reggie. Again, if you're talking about base design, not even the photos or the player selection, that's why. Then you've got some manager cards in there with the floating heads. Those just crack me up.
Love those ones. The Eddie Matthews one in there.
There is an Eddie Matthews one in there. Very good. Brooks Robinson. Let's see.
You got any of the World Series cards in there?
I think so. So there's the batting. The leaders cards are actually kind of cool now that I look at them. I do. Let's see. But I had to pick a set, and it's hard to, you know. They can't even get. They got Willie McCovey on Washington, you know.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
Versus San Diego. Here's your Dave Parker.
There it is. Well, what would be your favorite card from that set? Because there's a really epic subset in that as well.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you got in there.
Probably my favorite card, or I'm going to say cards. I do like the Hank Aaron specials.
Yes.
Card number 1. So people may not know this. That's actually Hank Aaron's card from 74. You know, it's just this card as the all-time home run king. That's pretty epic. And then you have the special cards with all 4 cards shown of his old Topps designs. I think that's just a good idea. They did it again in 86, I think, with Pete Rose, right?
Yep.
And then
those are some of my favorite cards. I absolutely love those.
They didn't do it with Nolan Ryan, I don't think. The All-Star cards are pretty cool. There's Carew and Morgan.
And the All-Star cards, man, and the leaders cards, they're like legends on those ones for some reason in that set. I mean, those are pretty awesome.
Dude, the All-Star cards, so you've got catchers. Oh, let's do Fisk and Bench. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
First baseman, you've got Hank Aaron and who should be a Hall of Famer, Dick Allen. I showed you the second baseman, which was Morgan Carew. Third baseman, 2 more Hall of Famers, Santo and Brooks Robinson. Right fielders, you have 2 Hall of Famers, Billy Williams and Reggie Jackson. So yeah, it's chock full of great dudes.
So if you had to compare that set to another Topps design within that period from 1980 to 1952, what would you say? Because most of these have doppelgangers. It's like, even last night when we were watching the live stream, or I don't know if you were watching it, but I was watching the live stream, and each set has another set that looks very similar. Like the artist stole that, or like wanted to give that credit or something. Can you think of one off the top of your head?
For 74, I'm just trying to think like a cousin of that set.
Yeah, there's an obvious choice.
Well, I'm sure you'll tell me and I'll remember.
I will.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. One more card. This is Willie Mays' last Topps card, technically.
That is awesome.
His last regular card was 73, but he was in this World Series Game 2 card. So, doppelganger set for 74. I'm just going through the years. 65. I would say 60. Oh, I would think 80 is pretty close. It's got the.
You got it.
Okay.
That's the one I came up with too. They're almost identical.
Yeah, I mean you got 2 flags, right? They're just at an angle instead of straight across. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes you wonder, like, were they literally just like going? Did they want to pay homage to somebody who died at Topps and like who designed it, or were they lazy? Like, they literally almost identical except for the wave of the flag.
Right.
But I like both the sets.
What's funny is 80 is one of my favorites. So why is that?
That's so funny.
That's kind of weird.
It is weird, yeah.
I admit.
Well, the 80 looks like it's blowing in the wind a little more. Like, right. It's got a little more action to it.
And I like the All-Star banners. That I really dig that, like on the Ryan card. Yeah. How about Schmidt's first solo card?
Oh, that's a good card.
So yeah.
So
that's
if you choose one card out of there, like if any other card in the 74 set, what one would be your absolute favorite?
The Aaron.
The Aaron one, number 1.
Yeah, that's easy.
That makes sense.
That's easy.
Number 2, Schmidt, or what?
No, probably the Winfield because it's his rookie.
Oh yeah, Winfield. Forgot about Winfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see that one.
I got to remember what card number he is because I keep my cards in by year and then by card number, not alphabetical. So I found it. So I have it in a 7.
That's such a sick card.
So yeah, probably that one. I just got this autograph too recently. So
but you keep your autographs in the same box if it's part of the 74 set? Separate.
No, they're separate in their own. All the auto, because I want to keep the autos. If I want to pull the autos quickly, they're all the 74 autos are together.
Okay.
That I have, but
then do you have an Excel spreadsheet where you know every single card that enters your collection as far as graded comes?
Yes, and any autograph that comes into the collection is also cataloged.
Even if it's just a numbered autograph, or okay.
Yep. Even if it's raw, ungraded, whatever. Every autograph is cataloged. I have. You want to guess how many Hall of Fame autographs I have? I'll look real quick.
Yeah, I'll guess.
I have it right here.
3,700.
3,166.
That's so insane. Mike, you got a problem.
I do have a problem. Nobody needs that many.
Oh, dude. And then we were talking before the show. This guy is going after 1,000 Spider-Man comic books. Oh, the whole run. Spider-Man #1 all the way up to where they're at today.
Yeah,
That
and I want to
is-
get Amazing Fantasy 15, which is Spider-Man's first appearance in a comic book, which is kind of like the 52 mantle of comic books, is the Amazing Fantasy 15.
Is it the Amazing Fantasy one that I'm thinking of with the web, or he's like?
That's Amazing Fantasy. Yep.
Oh, I thought that was the Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't know that was a. Wow. Okay.
No, that was Spider-Man's first appearance was
Wow.
in that comic, and it's incredibly expensive, even in crappy grade.
For sure. Like, what's a cheap copy of that?
10 to 15,000.
Oh my gosh, for like
a one.
A one.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes. It's a cool looking cover though. It is. Like, it's pretty nostalgic. Like, it's like, I remember there was a Marvel set that I collected. I swear that they had the cover of those. They're like Turn Back the Clocks, but they were in Marvel set in like 92.
Yes.
And they had the covers on there. Oh my gosh, those were awesome.
I have that.
Oh yeah.
I have that card. So yeah.
That's your motivation right there.
Yeah, I need to get that. I don't know. Collecting is just one of those, you just love it, right?
Yeah, and everything. It sounds like you're like you do have a hard time not collecting something, like going, man, I really, not rabbit hole, so to speak, on baseball cards, but obviously you're into comic books, and you see, like me, I have other things that I've collected over the years. Do you have a hard time not entering other spaces, or are you pretty locked in on comics and cards?
I've had to be careful and consciously think about, hey, do I go down and I've got a Joe Montana rookie, Jerry Rice rookie, Emmett, Barry, all those guys. Like I've got a lot of cool football cards, but mainly from guys that I watched, Dorsett. I've been careful not to just go down the rabbit hole of football and basketball. I have a handful of basketball cards. I'd love to own a Jordan rookie, honestly, even in like a 6 or a 5, just to have one, because that's probably the most iconic basketball card of all time.
Yeah.
And so it's not that I don't like other stuff or respect it. I've learned long ago, you can't have everything. And so you just got to draw a line somewhere in the sand. And
well, your line's pretty big, considering you're going after the entire Topps run of every single Hall of Fame player's card. And
Bowman.
What's that?
And the Bowmans.
Oh, and the Bowmans as well?
Yeah, 50 to 55.
How far along? I know last time we talked, or I've heard you talk about it, you're up there. You're number 1 in the registry, right?
Well, there's not each decade is separate in the registry.
Okay.
The 50s are their own decade, the 60s, 70s, 80s. I kind of combine them into what I call the master list. There's 2,461 cards. I have 2,185 of them. So I'm at 88, 89, almost 89%. So,
wow.
And I've got plenty on the way. So,
and what you're picking up, what I see you've been picking up lately, seems to be what you call the low hanging fruit stuff. It seems like you pretty much have all the big boys minus like the Mantle 52. But you pretty much checked off all the really expensive stuff.
Yeah, 52 is going to be tough. I need the Mantle, the Mays, the Jackie, the Eddie Matthews, and the Hoyt Wilhelm. Just those 5 cards, even being conservative, is $150,000 just for those 5 cards. So it not necessarily, we can get it cheaper in ones and stuff like that. But I mean, most people don't know Eddie Matthews is the most expensive Topps rookie ever. Because 52 Topps Mantle is not his rookie. And so Mays is not cheap anymore. That card's gotten crazy expensive. The Jackie has gotten crazy expensive. But I don't have the Campy. That's another huge card in 52. So
do you have the Pee-wee?
What's that?
Do you have the Pee-wee?
Do I have that? I don't know. I can look. I have my list right here. If only I could tell you. 52, I only have 13 of them. So I'm less than halfway done. I do not have the Pee Wee Reese, card number 333. I I have Rizzuto and Irvin and Spawn and Snyder and Roberts and Feller and Mize and Berra, Minoso. I have a Minoso rookie, Doby, Kell, Wynn, and DeRocher. So the high numbers, super crazy expensive. So it's going to be a challenge. Campanella is a high number. I don't know. Someday, maybe. We'll see.
I'm sure at some point you'll get there and you'll find the right one. But yeah, it's like that's a huge commitment. But you know what? At that point, to me, it seems like what you've talked about, you're saving that till the very end anyways. So at the very end, you're like, you just buy it and then you're done. And you're like, okay, but you don't want to be done. So it's not like you can always just start another road, like leave those and then go down the football road or whatever.
Well, I will tell you this. I have thought long and hard, even recently, what's the end game with collecting? And to most people, there isn't one, and I get that. But I'm thinking I have this master list of things I want to get. I buy outside of that often. So it's not like I only buy stuff from this list. I'm not nearly as focused as I should be. But the reality is once I get all of that, which is going to be a really long time. It's not like I'm going to have this done next week or something. But in the next decade, when I probably finish this, how could I get any more? What else do I need? That's kind of honestly where my brain is. And it's been that way for a while. On my master list, there are 600. I've got that pulled up. 561 cards left. One of which is a Wagner, so that I'm not going to ever have that one. But there's, if I can, I'll have all my projects will be complete. It doesn't mean I won't decide to do something else down the road, but at some point you have to, I feel like for me, I've got to have a goal and I've got to have an endpoint for it to make sense. Cause I don't ever want to be the guy that just buys stuff that I don't I don't like, or B, doesn't fit in my collection. I buy random occasionally, but I try to avoid that as much as I can.
I think that's the number one rule. Like the lesson that you've probably seen. I mean, you've obviously seen from the show and Chasing Cardboard and seeing these guys accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And there's no purpose because it just sits in boxes and they have no idea what they have. Whereas with a collection like yours and a collection like mine, we have them in Excel spreadsheets. We know every card that we have and we can keep track of them. And if worst case scenario time comes, you're like, well, I want to start over because it was so fun. You could take that and sell it in a heartbeat and you know what's in there, you know what it's worth. And I think that says a lot because if you're just going out and buying random stuff, which I used to do all the time. Before YouTube, I was random, but I was only random within vintage. It was just vintage baseball cards. It wasn't so random. But if you just start buying just random ungraded cards and you're a graded card collector, things get out of control really fast. And I think
let me ask you this, Dylan. Do you have like how many graded cards would you say you have? Just ballpark guess.
I have about 1,000 now.
Okay, 1,000. Is there a number in your mind that if someone came in and offered you X dollar, and you don't have to tell me the number, but is there a number that you would sell it all right now and start over?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, for me, the whole fun of this, I love looking at my cards all day long, every day. But if I could sell them all in one hot flash second, give me $800,000. Every card in my collection you can have, I would do that in a second because I would just go right back and start over. And I would go from the top guy. I wouldn't even do that. I would just continue what I'm doing, but I'd just start over again.
See, that's interesting. If I got my number, I would be done.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that in an episode.
Yeah.
I couldn't be done. No chance. Because it brings too much joy for me. And like, I could not come home and not have cards displayed. I've had them displayed on my wall my entire life, in my closets, in kitchen pantries, everywhere I've ever been in my life. I've had cards displayed since I was a kid. So there was no way I could just, wipe my hands of the whole hobby, but I would definitely sell everything in a heartbeat and start again, because the fun of it is going out and hunting for it. And it's
I
fun to
agree.
play with them and have them, but man, I can get them again.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I think. If I wanted to later, I could get them again. But I have a lot of like things, stuff at the ranch we could do. Like, there's a lot of other things tugging at my pocketbook, and it wouldn't be the worst thing to, go back and buy a couple of key. It's not that I'll never own a baseball card. If I was to get my number, that I would never own a baseball card again. That's not true, probably, but
No.
I wouldn't go back into it the way that I'm so just, I love it. And I do enjoy doing it. That's that. You mentioned the joy part of it. That's a huge part. There is a point, that's why I think it's important for people to take breaks from the hobby, and, certainly don't use debt. Don't overextend yourself, pay your bills, save for retirement, send your kids to college. All those things need to happen before you buy a single baseball card or sports card. But there's a point where it's okay to go, hey, I'm going to break. It's funny when people tell me, hey, I stopped collecting, or I stopped buying cards from X year to X year. I took a break in the hobby. They said, and they're like, well, I wasn't collecting then. I'm like, did you throw away your cards? And they said, no. Well, then you were still collecting. You just weren't actively buying. That's not a collector. A collector is a person who acquires, stores, and maintains a collection. That doesn't mean you have to be buying constantly to be a collector. So when people say I didn't collect from this time, then my next question is, did you throw away your cards? The answer invariably is no. And therefore, no, you were still a collector that whole time. You just weren't adding to the collection. We've all had periods where we couldn't add as much because of financial reasons, or a myriad of things that could have been going on to slow our buying or halt our buying for some period of time. The collecting part never stopped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well said, because I could never see you sell everything. I could see you having like a new goal. I want 100 cards. I want to do like, Iconic Al and have only 100 cards in my collection or whatever it is. And just be like, this is it. These are the 100 cards and I'm going to go after it. But you're so right on the fact that you don't always have to be buying cards to be a collector. There was years where I didn't buy, I'm always buying cards, but I wasn't buying vintage graded baseball cards every week like I am now. It was, you go through periods, and I would go to buy packs, and then I open packs up for a while, and then you take a break on that, and then you go back to the buying vintage, and that's just kind of how it works. If you just keep buying at the rate that I've been doing it over the last year, most of us on YouTube, you go broke. I mean, I'm selling things to buy things, but it's only because I bought all this stuff before. But yeah, you're always a collector once you're a collector, unless you just drop everything and say, that's it. I'm pal. That's it. Done. So,
yep.
Dude, we went so sideways. I love it. That's what happened.
Tell me about let's talk about your least favorite set.
All right. My least favorite set, as you guys can see here, is the 1966 top set. Now, what's ironic about it is the fact that I have so many 1966 Topps cards. I was looking, and I have a display on my wall back here, and I've had this, I've had it numerous times in my life where I have all the run from 52 Topps all the way. Normally I do it all the way to 1993 is when, when I just, the bust happened, and I always just had those on there on display. But since I've been doing the centered stuff, I have a better image of what every individual card is supposed to look like. The actual design, they look so freaking good the way I have them. So I've just been studying them over and over again for months now. That's why I'm doing this. And the 66 to me is the most bland set out of all of them. Like, if I'm a kid at the store and these cards are displayed like this, the 66 just doesn't do it. It doesn't have, it's small lettering. the Cubs banner on the side. You don't get logos unless they're on the hats. You just don't have the bang that you have on a lot of the other sets. Now, I love these cards. Like this Sandy Koufax. It's, this is his last card, and it's one of the greatest Koufax cards there is. It's beautiful. You got Joe Morgan's card, his Rookie Cup card. There's absolutely like something about the set that I love, but when I rank them, it's at the bottom. I'd rather, 74 to me just kicks a little more in me. So that's kind of why I chose that. But you know what I've also been doing in my collection is I've been buying modern cards from the original design. And I love having modern players on these old designs and vice versa. I love having old players on the new Topps designs. I'm obsessed with it. And it's a rabbit hole I've been taking on. This is a gold heritage, number to 5, and it's Ichiro. And for me to display these side by side, it's really special for me, and I love it. Something about this, my favorite cards from the 66. I'll just show those really fast. The Sandy Koufax, probably top solo card that I love the most. As far as multiplayer cards, maybe the greatest combo card ever with Mays, Hank Aaron, and Clemente. I love the leaders cards. There's just something special for me.
So many Hall of Famers too.
Yeah, 3 Hall of Famers. As a kid, I would have rather have 3 Hall of Famers on a card than 1 all day long. Still to this day, I prefer leaders cards over solo cards most of the time.
They've gotten a lot more expensive too. I don't know if you've noticed, but
they have. People are starting to catch on.
Yeah, we stop talking about it. I still need a few.
That's the problem. Another really cool card. This card has meaning to me too, because I bought this from a friend of mine years back, ungraded, and the Don Sutton rookie card with the whitewashed hat. I love it. There's nothing wrong with this set in particular, but you got to choose. And then the MVPs from this are Frank Robinson and Roberto Clemente. And I love these card on card 1975 Topps cards. So it always just kind of brings you back. And another one really cool is the combo cards like these that aren't necessarily record breakers or anything. They have cool names, Buck Belters, they're just really, really cool cards. So that would be my least favorite set. Now, what set to you would be the doppelganger of 66? Now, it's easy for me because I already did this. So it's not a test. It's just
yeah, that's not fair. You haven't. No. Let me think. 66. I'm trying to think. 80s designs, not really. I mean, I think like 67 and 88 Topps are very similar, I don't know. Go ahead and show me what you think.
61.
Really?
Yeah, it's the way they do the squares. It's a simplistic design. Although 61 is way higher up on my rankings, to me, it seems the most like each other. I don't know why, but when I look on the wall, these two seem the most similar. Although the 61 stands above for me. I'm not sure why, but they do look a lot alike. So,
well,
that's it.
I actually like the 66. The design, I agree with you. Very bland, very boring. I don't know if 60 and it's sad because 65 was such a cool looking design, right?
Oh my gosh, 65 is insane, yeah.
And you're like, you just did that, and now you give us this. Like, come on, Topps, And 67 is pretty boring too, right?
Yep.
You've just got the team name and my 60s are over there, but see. I'm gonna grab some 66s. Is that all right?
Yeah, dude, grab a few, please. I'm gonna show a couple while you grab that. I've got a Mike Trout in a 1974 Topps design, and that's a heritage. Just love having the cards like this. It's so fun. I got the Reggie. He was the MVP in 1973 World Series on the 74 card.
There you go.
Love it. All right, let's see some of yours. As you pull them, maybe we'll do a little mini contest as we go.
All right, you got Banks, right?
Yeah, I got a 4 in Banks floating around. Here he is.
I only have a 7.
Yeah, I had a 7. I sold it for a 4. I downgraded to upgrade.
I love it. 67 has the floating heads checklist cards too, like Mantle.
Oh yeah, those are really awesome. Wait, what year was that one? That's the 66?
67. Oh no, I'm in 67. I
Yeah.
put that card's in the wrong spot. Hold on.
I'm like, wait a second.
That's a 67. What am I doing? I don't know anything about cards. Card number 1's pretty awesome. Willie Mays.
Willie Mays. Where you at, Willie?
I have a centered 4.
I have a 3, but I also have a 5 as well in a box.
Let's see. The Mantle.
I do not have the Mantle. I had it. I love that. Let me see that Mantle again. What's that in?
3.5.
That's the hardest card. That's one of the hardest cards ever to find dead centered. All these 66s are freaking tough.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Tony Perez.
Oh man, I need that one. That's sick. The Rookie Cup. Cup hat. Is that the hat one? Let me see. It's got to be the same as the Morgan, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a hat until someone said that. Never knew it was actual hat. It's not a cup on these ones.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Someone pointed that out on YouTube, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Holy smokes! It's a freaking hat."
It's just a top hat. I've got a ton of 66s, so I got your Buck Belters.
You got the Lou Brock.
I do.
125.
125.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's the way I got to read them to you.
There's the Lou Brock.
What do you got? 6?
Yeah.
I got 4. It's so cool seeing cards at the same time. I love when people do this. I don't know why. Oh, you got Clemente? You got a 300?
I do. How about the Jim Palmer rookie first?
Oh, nice one. Jim Palmer.
Just a 5.
I still need that.
What card? 300?
300, yeah.
Flipped right to it. Bob Clemente.
Yeah, MVP.
I have a off-center 6.
I had an off-centered 6. That's the one I sold. I got a nice centered 4.
This is yours.
Yeah,
no,
you might have bought that. It looks just like the one I sold.
They're so bad. The centering's so bad on.
Oh, dude, all Clemente's cards for some reason must have been on the corner of the sheets.
I have the Maris.
I need the Maris. That thing's beautiful. Something about Maris in the Yankees uniform, yeah.
Well, that's his last Yankees card, so that's why I have that. Like, what a great, just simple card, Don Drysdale.
Yeah, beautiful.
Too many, man. Too many.
While you keep showing, I got a question. Do you collect anything ungraded? Do you have like an album of? Is it just your sets, or do you have like a special album for like good looking ungraded?
No, just sets. If I'm working on a set, I'll binder them up, and that's another project. So there's the Aaron.
What do you got?
5.
Yeah, 4. 4.5. So
see,
close.
Same card. That's the same.
That's awesome.
Getting all my stuff out of whack here. Gonna drive me nuts because of my. Why are we so OCD about our cards, man?
Wait, let's see your 215. Number 215.
215.
I guarantee you it's off-centered. The leader's card.
Oh, I don't have it.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
I'll sell you this one because I it's on eBay right now. You want it? It's off center.
Okay.
It's a 5.
What do those go for?
I don't know. I can't remember what I have it up, but I just bought another one ungraded for like a really, really nicely centered one. It took me 2 years to find. There's no such thing as these things perfectly centered, but I got a really nice one coming. It's ungraded, but yeah, I'll put that aside though, Mike, and we can text about that one.
Okay.
If you're interested, I'll send you a photo of it.
Well, I need one, so I shouldn't say that. I don't need any of these. I would like.
You need it. You got to get that list checked off.
Dude, now I got to get all these back in order. They're all jacked up. Let's see, Cepeda, Whitey Ford's last card is 66. No, it's not 67. Never mind.
Okay.
I mean, I have it. It's right there. Yeah. I got a 6 stain.
I got a 4 normal.
So about that's equal.
Yeah, 2.
The Eddie Matthews card's so ugly because his hat is so airbrushed.
Yes, it is an ugly card, and I don't have that anymore.
So you guys look, it's like I think that's an Angels hat or something.
Dude, I don't understand why I don't. I was so bad, yeah.
So bad. I only have 1 leaders card from 66.
Which one is it?
The RBI leaders for the National League. So it's got Mays and Robinson on it.
Oh yeah, I got that one somewhere floating.
But
that's a sick card.
They're not cheap.
No.
So fun. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was really fun, Mike. I'm so glad that you decided to come on here, and you were like you're like the pretty girl at school that everyone's scared to have asked out because you but you probably never get asked out because of that. Like I've wanted to ask you on my channel for a long time, but I always figured you're a busy dude. And then I asked you the second you say I'm taking some time away from doing videos, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna ask him.
Well, it wasn't the videos, and people are misunderstanding that too. It was just the labor of the podcast and having to stay with that so often, every week, and
yeah,
that was a grind.
I can only imagine. Like, I don't, me, I don't have a schedule. I don't force myself to do any videos. Even some days I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do a video tomorrow, and then I'll turn the camera on, and then a minute into it, I go, dude, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I just stop, and I go, well, whatever. I can't do the whole, hey, I'm gonna do it every week thing, or I'm gonna do this. Just for me, it doesn't work. I really hope that you do continue to do the golden age of cardboard, because I'm a podcaster still at heart. I would much prefer to listen to people talk about cards. That's why I love the lives and stuff, because I can listen to them later. I don't need to see the cards to know what they look like. I just enjoy listening to other collectors talk about their feelings on collecting. And the golden age of cardboard hit the spot on so many people's lists. So I like your plan to do what you were telling me you were going to do with it. So
I do have some new episodes coming out. They are with some guest hosts that are hosting the shows. So be on the lookout for those, but it won't be me. But I got some of my friends. I have a few friends, and they were all they were excited about doing it. So there's going to be some guys filling in for me over the next, I plan on restarting first of the year timeframe, mid-January, something like that.
I mean, you don't have to hold yourself to do one every week. It just be like random, whatever. You feel like doing one, just do it.
I have a lot of people that, this is going to sound silly but they look forward to it every week. They're ready.
I did.
So I want to be fair to those people that are loyal listeners, or, whatever you'd call fans. That's a bad word. I don't like the word fan, because we're all just collectors. I'm no different than you or anyone else. And, but I want to be, if I'm going to do it, let's do it right.
I like it. Mike. Well, I appreciate it. Any last words besides what you said? Anything you want to talk about before we
just keep collecting? You're awesome, man. I think you're amazing for the hobby, and you're great for this community, and I'm glad you're a part of it.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man. warms my heart. And to everybody out there, double shakas, and we'll see you next time. Keep collecting. You.
Mahalo.